Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Several Spokane City Council members are calling for an independent investigation into Police Chief Craig Meidl, several weeks after he was accused of giving special access and information to downtown business owners. It's a story that KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is working on, new at 10 tonight. Kyle?
Well, Chief Meidl says he did nothing wrong or illegal here. Council members could soon ask the mayor and city attorney to launch an independent investigation in order to prove that. Last month, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward said Police Chief Craig Meidl had her full support. But now several council members say her administration is required to further investigate the chief, according to the Spokane Municipal Code. On Monday, council members will discuss a resolution to launch an independent investigation into the chief to determine the full scope and nature of conduct. Last month, 21 community organizations released a scathing letter condemning Spokane Police Chief Craig Meidl and asking for his resignation, saying the chief gave special access and information to downtown business owners.
Our chief of police is using city resources to advance the agenda of a narrow group of powerful business owners, lending them more power than the average Spokaneite.
The call for his removal comes after the city's police ombudsman released the findings of their investigation that showed hundreds of emails were exchanged between Chief Meidl and members of the Spokane Business and Commercial Property Owners Council. Chief Meidl says the group reached out to him asking how business owners could help police improve safety downtown. Meidl says none of the communications involved privileged information.
So working with them and explaining to them, here's what the hurdles are for us. And that's really what this boils down to, is providing them information from our perspective of tools and things that we need to create that safer downtown. But it's important for me to point out that we have done this for many organizations.
And the resolution calls for the investigation to begin no later than May 30th. Findings would be shared to the mayor and city council no later than the end of August. Mark?
Kyle, thank you very much. Well, today was the 7th day of testimony in the murder trial of Lori Ballo. She is accused of murdering her two children, 7-year-old JJ and 16-year-old Ty Lee, and conspiring to murder her husband's first wife, Tammy. Larry Woodcock, JJ's grandfather, was allowed in the courtroom today. He said that's because he won't be testifying, at least for the time being.
He said, you know, yesterday was so full of surprises, but yet no one was surprised. And I think that's a good summation of yesterday's court session.
Well, yesterday, Ballo's older son, Colby Ryan, revealed a phone call between them in which he accused his mother of killing JJ and Ty Lee. The trial continues tomorrow. Washington is set to become the 10th state in the U.S. to ban the sale of assault weapons after lawmakers passed a House bill late this afternoon. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we are breaking down what specifically this bans and what will still be allowed if Governor Jay Inslee signs that bill into law. And new tonight, a grand jury has indicted the Hanford site subcontractor and its owner for stealing more than $1.4 million in COVID-19 relief funds that were set aside for struggling businesses. According to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Washington, between 2020 and 2021, the Hanford site asked for more than $1 million to pay for labor costs and payroll, but they were already having those costs covered by the Department of Energy. Then the indictment states the Hanford owner, Wilson Pershing Stevenson III, then pocketed those funds and used them to pay off his personal debt. Stevenson now faces a maximum of 30 years in prison if convicted. Well, the Coeur d'Alene School District is considering declaring a financial emergency ahead of a vote next month for a supplemental levy. The district is again asking voters to approve a $25 million levy, this time for just 2 years. The superintendent says the state of emergency would mean cutting most extracurriculars, including sports, and also cutting staff by a quarter.
It'll be somewhere probably between 300 to 350, depends on the exact, personnel and salaries of those personnel.
The school board is expected to declare that financial emergency this Friday, just in case the levy fails again. Well, we are asking the city of Spokane more questions about transitioning people out of the Cannon Street shelter and placing them into the Trent shelter. The city's contract with the shelter operator at Cannon expires at the end of May, but people are already being moved out. The city says that's so that not everyone is moved all at once.
It's easier on both operator, but most importantly, it's easier on those who are transitioning from Cannon to Track or to another location so that they can do it in an orderly fashion, a managed fashion.
Well, we have seen the Cannon Street shelter get cleared out abruptly before. This is video from nearly 3 years ago of the shelter's first operator sending guests on their way the day their contract ended. Well, this time around, the city is hoping to avoid a similar chaotic transition. All right, taking a break from the headlines to talk weather. Another spring-like day here in Spokane, and it's probably going to change, not going to change rather anytime soon. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, warmer weather is eventually on the horizon though, right?
You can almost see it. It's one of those ones where, you know, the sun is starting to come up, the sky's changing, but we can't quite see the sun and you still need your headlights. That's where we're at when it comes to seeing spring off in the distance. That's the worst analogy I've ever used. 41 degrees right now, and let's keep diving into that forecast. Our showers, once again, quickly dissipating. What's left of those will quickly fall apart here over the course of the next few hours. And overnight, we clear out. Tomorrow, we start out clear and we stay clear through most of the day. In fact, I don't think we wind up seeing the return of showers until overnight Thursday into Friday. Some of that might be a little bit of rain mixing in here in town. I think you see a couple of snowflakes and that's about it. Tomorrow morning's cold though. We drop down to 30 degrees overnight and we still have some freeze warnings in effect for the similar locations we were talking about 24 hours ago. But the next few days, well, it's a slight turnaround. Tomorrow morning's cold. Tomorrow afternoon back in the 50s. Friday winds up cold again, and then Saturday we start to see that sun rise along the horizon.
Looking forward to Saturday. Jeremy, thank you very much. And happening tomorrow, the Spokane International Airport hosting a topping out ceremony for one of their concourse expansions. This is a tradition in construction work where people get together to watch the final beam be put into place. People at the ceremony will have a chance to sign the beam before it's secured to be a part of the airport history forever. This is just the initial phase of the concourse expansion. A lawsuit filed today against SeaTac claims toxic pollution put nearby residents' health at risk. Attorneys are calling the area a contamination zone. They also say the airport and airlines are aware of contamination but are choosing not to address it because of the expense involved.
I think the two major issues are contaminants are getting inside the homes, so you're breathing toxic substances, and then you're on your property. So you want that removed, right? And we want to monitor the health going forward of these people because we know they're at risk for certain signature diseases at a much greater level than you or I would be.
The Port of Seattle is still reviewing the suit and has not commented on the specific allegations at this point. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The upcoming Foo Fighters concert already sold out, and now new ticket restrictions mean that anyone buying tickets from a third party like StubHub may face difficulties getting them due to transfer restrictions. Officials are telling people to stay away from these secondary sites since tickets will not be transferable through them. The Foo Fighters are just one of several artists that have been making this change.
Hopefully we get some tickets to the Foo. Been wanting to see them for a long time. They never come around this area. It's hard to get to see a lot of concerts. And since the COVID, it's hard to get bigger bands and more people to come out this way.
Well, the director for the Spokane Arena says the Foo Fighters are the third artist coming to Spokane to disable ticket transfers and resales. He expects more artists to follow as a way to eliminate fraud and scammers. Well, today was the first day of the Washington Future Business Leaders of America Convention. It's going on until Saturday all across Spokane. The events host teachers, middle school and high school students to help foster the next generation of business leaders here in the state of Washington. The FBLA is expected to host more than 2,000 participants and bring more than $1.3 million to the local economy. The Spokane Valley Fire Department officially unveiled its new maintenance facility to the public today. The 140,000 square foot shop includes 7 service bays, doubling the capacity of the department's last building. The $8.1 million shop is designed to speed up repairs and keep the department's fleet of more than 50 vehicles in good working order. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. Topping international headlines this evening, nearly 80 people are dead in Yemen tonight after a stampede in the country's capital. Hundreds of people gathered in the financial district for an event organized by local merchants. Officials are blaming random distributions of money for the chaos that broke out. According to witnesses, some people fired guns into the air to try to control the crowd, but instead hit an electrical wire that then exploded. This only caused more panic.
You can see those rain curtains wrapping around this big tornado, and it is tracking along here. It is definitely violent.
Well, striking video out of Oklahoma tonight as parts of the state are under a tornado watch. The event went into effect just hours ago. Forecasters are warning people in the region to look out for big pieces of hail, saying some could be the size of quarters. This comes just weeks after tornadoes devastated Arkansas.